Hello and welcome to Discovering Grays Lake, unveiling the stories and people that make our town so unique. I'm your host, David Wool, and I'm thrilled to bring you this new podcast that explores fascinating stories and experiences of local business owners and community leaders, right here where we call home. Grays Lake Rehabilitation Center is a community-based private practice physical therapy provider. Do you know they have 13 clinical providers with various levels of specialties, including orthopedics, sports, neurology, vestibular, geriatrics, pelvic floor, and aquatic? What? Did I just say they have a pool? Well, they do, and it's the largest indoor warm water pool in Lake County, featuring 2 underwater treadmills and swim currents. And recently added clinical treatment specialties, in layman's terms, shockwave. They have both radial and focus units that are the newest tool in regenerative medicine, available to everyone. They pride themselves on the most current and up-to-date specialized care to keep you moving. If you're looking for physical therapy, make sure to see our friends at Grays Lake Rehabilitation. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Discovering Grays Lake podcast. We are recording here from Agora. Thank you to Agora for having us here. If you're looking for a co-working space, if you need a place for an hour, for a week, or make an office for your forever home, Agora is a great place to do that. We're right here on the corner of Atkinson and Center Street, so thank you to Agora for having us. Today I get the privilege to talk to 2 of my now friends. And they have a very unique program that I think everybody will be interested, especially if you're in education. So I have Jodi Cinq-Mars, and I'm going to totally screw this up. So it's Jodi Cinq-Mars, the Cinq-Mars Group, Keller Williams North Shore West. See?
Got it.
I got it.
Nice
and Brent Kenyon from Keller Home Loans, correct?
Correct.
So you 2 guys work together?
Yes.
Okay.
We do.
All right, so I'm going to start with Jodi too. So this is brought to my attention because we've got to work together a lot, and I respect everything you do, especially in our community. So you guys have come together to put together something called Educator's Advantage.
That is correct.
All
yes.
right. So Educator's Advantage. First of all, let's go a little bit about what it is and how it came to be. Either one of you.
All right. So I'm a realtor, and I buy and sell homes for people. And when I was working with Brent, Mutual of Omaha is the founding company that he works for, and they have a program for heroes. And my question was, what about the teachers? Because we know that people are waiting for homes in their desired community 90% of the time because of the schools. They want this school. So the schools are great. The schools are thriving. And why is that? Because we have great teachers that are showing up day in and day out and making it happen. So I said, what about the teachers? How do we give back to teachers? Because people are moving in and out of communities because of the hard work that the teachers are putting in. How do we reward them? Right. And that's where we launched. And if you know Brent Kenyon, you know that once you give him something to chew on, it just blows up. So
sounds like they got the dynamic duo over here. Right.
So he took it to his president. We've talked through this with multiple people, and it doesn't stop there. He just keeps building on it. We're trying to just create a platform so that you have a concierge white glove service from start to finish when you engage with Educator's Advantage.
Right. So Educator's Advantage, obviously, Brent, from what I know about you, is you like to give back, and especially you find these people heroes in our community.
Yeah, definitely. Just for clarification purposes for the audience out there, Mutual of Omaha is the parent company. They are a majority owner of Keller Home Loans. So there's no confusion out there because sure. Jodi mentioned Mutual of Omaha. But one and the same, Mutual of Omaha, Keller Home Loans. But yeah, we love to give back to communities. We love to give back to our veterans. We love to give back to really anyone that's going above and beyond for the community. So,
and I think some of these times people get overlooked too on how important our teachers are in our community.
Yeah, definitely, and it drives our why. To be honest with you, and when I say our why, I mean Jodi's why as well as mine. Jodi being a longtime educator, 27 years, I believe.
It's amazing at 32 years old that you've been doing
right?
I like that.
It's a good trick.
Great call. But yeah, I mean, her passion for educators is amazing. And if you've gotten a chance to meet Jodi, obviously you know that most of her best friends are teachers. Most of the people that she runs in her circles with are teachers, and it's just a really important part of not only her life, but now also my life as well, because Jodi and I have become so close as friends over the last 5 years, give or take.
Right. Okay. So to get to the basics of Educator's Advantage, let's say I am a teacher and I'm looking to buy a home. Like, tell me how the program works and what is the Educator's Advantage, so to say.
Yes. So if you're an educator, and it doesn't just have to be a teacher, it's anyone that receives a paycheck from a school district.
So if I'm the custodial worker there.
Yep.
It still applies to me.
That is correct.
Okay.
So it's because every person that impacts a child's day is an educator. So if you're coming in, you better believe if you're serving lunch or breakfast to that child, you're impacting their day. The custodian is impacting that day. So every single person in the school plays a part in a child's day and in an employee's day. So if you're an educator, and let's say this person is a teacher, and they want to buy and sell a home, what happens is I connect them to Brent. Brent is going to help them get their mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let him talk a little bit about that piece. They can use him and not use me, or they can use me and not use him, but you get the best deal when you use both of us. And then what happens is I give 20% back of my commission. So,
wow.
Yeah, typically
that goes right back to
we write a check at the closing table to the educator that's closing. So people have taken that money, they've bought a washer and dryer, they've painted their house. We had one couple, they bought and sold, they sold in Libertyville, bought in Hawthorne Woods. I think they got like $8,000 back from my commission.
Are you looking for a great time right in the heart of our awesome community? Well, look no further than the Grayslake Village Center, your one-stop destination for all things fun and fabulous. Picture this. Historical downtown vibes with a mix of diverse businesses, an array of unique shops, and delicious restaurants. Many with outdoor seating, with an option to soak up the sun or shade. But that's not all. The Village Center is where the action is. And just like the weather, it's definitely heating up. There are events that take place all year round for the whole family. But now, you'll even have more options. Fill up your calendar with things to do. Also, take a stroll through Central Park, Gelatin Park, surrounding trails, green spaces, and more activities to keep you and your friends and family active all summer long. And now that the weather is warming up, dive into the Aquatic Center, open Memorial Day to Labor Day. But wait, there is more. Visit GrayslakeVillageCenter.com to discover an incredible lineup of events that are happening every month. Be in the know. Not sure what you're waiting for, so come on down, soak up the local vibes, and enjoy the experience that's unmistakably local and uniquely Grayslake. Grayslake Village Center, where the fun never stops.
So,
wow. Well, that's very generous.
Yes, and so they're able to go in, do a project, do something in the home that they would not have been able to do. Maybe they're moving, or maybe they use that for the mover. But they get to choose, or they can put it in the bank and keep it.
Right.
It's totally up to them.
That's great. So they get 20% of yours, mm-hmm. And then on Brent, on your side, what happens there?
Yeah, so we give $1,000 off the lending fees. So typically the lending fees are right around $1,495. So that drops down the total lending fees to about $500, give or take, a little bit less. So when you're a first-time home buyer, or you're buying, a moderate starter home or something of that nature, right? I mean, that $1,000 goes a long way.
Oh my gosh, yes.
A commission concession from Jodi. I mean, that could be painting the house. It could be new carpet in there, right? I mean, these are a lot of the clients that we're serving are, they are first-time home buyers, or they are, moving to a home that's within a community that they're working to be closer in proximity, as well as being able to live within the community that they work in. So.
All right. So my first question is, what's the catch? Because it sounds like there's something in here that there's a catch.
There's no catch. The catch is we really appreciate teachers and what they're doing and educators across the board, because the catch is I was in the schools. Brent said 27. It was actually 23 in public schools, and then I was at CLC and consulting the rest of my time. But I was in the schools. I know what it feels like. I know what it means to show up every day and to work with these kids. And educators are not people that show up for a job. If you're doing this as a job, you will quit within 6 months. Right. This is your life. This is your passion. And those kids become part of your life. And you take their worries home and you lay awake at night wondering what's going to happen with, Johnny and how this is all going to work out. And they become your kids. And so on the last day of school, it's like for all those moms out there that have sent kids away to college and cried all the way back, the last day of school feels like that. You're sending these kids on, and it's hard. It's really hard to let these kids walk out your door and know that you're not going to see them on a regular basis. You spend more time with the kids in your classroom than you spend with your own kids.
That's true, I guess, right?
It's really true. So we know what that feels like, and so we just want to give back and say thank you.
Right. So we were recently at an event at the Vine, where you guys had an open house and had people in and drinks and food and prizes and everything like that, and you invited teachers from, I know, Grays Lake, but also surrounding areas. So I want to make sure that listeners know that obviously your office is in Grays Lake. That's where this is our backyard, but this is also available to Lake County.
Lake County. Yeah. Well, we're making a big push to Lake County teachers, right? And the thought behind the Lake County teachers is we really want every teacher in the country to have these opportunities, but our backyard is Lake County, right? I mean, we can only reach so far in terms of Jodi's real estate capabilities. I lend in most states, so for me it can be countrywide, right? I mean, I can have a teacher in Florida that can qualify for this, but our push with Educator Advantage currently is Lake County, Illinois.
Gotcha. We're taking a quick break just to say hello because everybody knows Nano, and Nano knows real estate. And actually, I believe that's the name of her Instagram page. So if you're looking to buy a home, sell a home, or know somebody in the market for a home, contact Nano from Baird & Warner. She's a Grays Lake girl helping out Grays Lake people.
Now, we haven't talked about this, but in addition to the 20%, I also give 3% back to, in Grays Lake, it's the foundation. So that 3%, I write that check. That goes back to the foundation. But in the other school district, if they didn't have a foundation, we have a fund set up, and teachers can come to us for grants. And that would be something that hopefully, if you're looking big picture down the road, I would love to have $100,000 in that account. And teachers from all over could apply for grants. And those grants could be in-house field trips. They could be books for the library. They could be
a new playground.
Exactly.
Manipulatives for math. Whatever it is. Because I also know that when teachers want something for their classroom, the money doesn't go far, and they end up pulling funds out of their own pocket to go get what they need to make learning come to life for kids.
That was one thing that surprised me because I don't know about how everything works. But you talked about how teachers might need all these little supplies and other events that you guys do to say thank you, whether you're bringing them coffee or donuts and giving money back to that. I wasn't aware that teachers are really dipping in their own pockets for some of the special things that they need.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my best friend's wife is a teacher in Deerfield, and excuse me, they I know 100% certainty if they need something, and she goes out and buys it right out of her own pocket, because as Jodi was just talking about, they care so much about the kids and the job, and they realize that they are affecting the lives of students on a daily basis. So
I had a student once, every day around 10:30 or 11, he would just get in trouble. And he would end up having to pull a stick and put his name on the board. And I was like, what is up with this kid? Well, then I started watching. It was snack time. We were coming back from gym. It was snack time. He didn't have snacks. Everyone else was pulling their snacks out, and he was just ticked off. So when I put two and two together, I'm like, oh, he's just hungry. I get that. I need snacks all day.
Right. I'm hangry most of the time.
So, I didn't, go to the school and ask them. I went to the grocery store and I got snacks. And so the next day I said, hey, in your locker, you want to go check your locker. He had snacks there. The kid didn't get in trouble for the next 2 months.
Wow.
That's what it was. And that's what teachers do.
Right. And it's cool because I've seen some of the photos from your events when you come in, and I think that teachers, a lot of times, it's not a thankless job, but they don't get as much thanks or respect maybe sometimes as, because I dropped my son off at school this morning, 7-year-old, sent him to his last day of first grade, and that woman is taking care of my child all day long, every day.
I think sometimes teachers get viewed as daycare.
Sure.
And then the public thinks, oh, they're done at 3:00 and they get the summers off. Well, that's just not true.
Right.
At 3:00 they're done with their clients, which are the students.
Right.
Then the work starts. You have to plan. You have to grade all the papers so that you know where to start the lesson the next day. If the whole class misses on this math lesson, guess what? You're not moving on to the next day's lesson. You have to reteach. So you have to do that work that night in order to know what to do the next day. No one sees that. That's the real work. So they're just in front of their clients from 8:00 until 3:00.
Right.
And then the summer, they get probably the first 2 weeks off. Right now is hallelujah time for teachers. And then all the summer planning starts for the next year.
Wow.
And they're in meetings at least once a week, and they're prepping, and they're taking classes, and
So from knowing all of this stuff is why you guys put this program together. Just another way to say thank you.
Yes.
It's a way to give back, for sure. And I want to circle back real quick, Dave, on the Educator Advantage, our kickoff party that we had at the Vine.
Yeah.
One of the things that we're super proud of is we had 9 school districts and 15 different schools represented at that event. And then we had a follow-up event where whoever would have, the most creative and fun picture with an Educator Advantage photo would win lunch. And that just turned out to be a huge success, and everyone was so appreciative.
And let me interrupt you for a second, because I know a lot of these teachers. You just didn't do something for the person that won. They got lunch, but I heard that you guys were all over bringing everybody coffee and donuts or something in the morning.
So the school that won got lunch from Stone Creek Grill. Is that right?
No. It's,
it is.
Where was it from? Rafa. I know Rafa.
And they're have to come on in. They're also there.
But what's it called?
It's the Stone
Grill.
Stone Grill. Okay,
you just want to add another
I
word.
just added a
Always go in the
Stone
extra
Grill. And Rafa was amazing, a taco bar. And it was, homemade guacamole is outstanding. But then the other schools that participated all got coffee and donuts.
That's cool.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's nice, and it was nice to see everybody together, and I got to see some of the other teachers talking that maybe didn't understand exactly what you guys were doing, or you heard somebody that was like, "Oh man, we just bought a house." Like, they would have had all this money back, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I think right now, especially when you're doing this, and the reason we're sitting here today is to bring some awareness to teachers. So if somebody's listening right now, and your sister is a teacher, but even if she's not in Grace Lake, or anybody that's in a school district, like this is an extremely valuable thing to put together.
Absolutely.
And Brent brought something to my attention too. So what happens if I'm not buying a house? I'm sitting here today and I just want to refinance, or I need to do something like that. Would that still apply?
100%. So, yep, we honor it for any educator, the $1,000 off their closing costs. So on a refinance, typical with title, appraisal, and lending fees is right around $2,000. Knock $1,000 off, so to refinance about $1,000.
So 50% off, just because. Well, I'm not an educator. I don't teach anybody anything. But if you're an educator, so it applies to refis as well.
Yep, great call. Yep, it does.
Hey neighbors, this is Bill Mock with the Grays Lake Chamber of Commerce. And if you're looking for a network of hard-working, customer-focused, and generally friendly local businesses who are dedicated to helping each other succeed, then I'd like to invite you to check out and consider joining our Grays Lake Chamber. We offer our members so many ways to advance their businesses through social networking events, special event sponsorships, informative lunch and learns, and the ever-popular after-hours mixers. Come see why we say we're the new wave of business here in Lake County.
So why in the world, if you're an educator anywhere, would you not use this? I mean, it's a no-brainer.
It may be their sister is a realtor, or their aunt or a family member or a good friend. That's fine.
Right.
I mean, they won't get the savings, but I mean, we're okay with that. We believe in abundance. There's enough to go around, and we're here to serve those that are looking to be served in a exceptional way.
Right. And that's one thing I've really admired about you, Jodi, is that especially because all of the realtors that are in our town, there's a lot of quote unquote competition, but I know you and a couple other people that having that awareness that there is abundance and there's enough to go around.
For sure.
But this is just one more thing that you guys have to offer.
Right.
And where your hearts are at.
Right.
I think it's really cool.
100%. Yeah. One last thing, you can always visit our website at educators20.com.
I'll put that in the show notes here so they can click right there.
Okay.
Yeah,
too.
perfect.
Awesome.
Yes.
And the only other thing I wanted to mention is, and Jodi had referenced it earlier, but you can use Jodi and not use me. You can use me and not use Jodi. So if your aunt is a realtor and you still want to get the savings on the mortgage piece,
right,
you can do that. And vice versa. If your aunt or uncle is a mortgage lender and you still want to receive your educator's benefit from Jodi, you can definitely do that too. So this is nothing to stick anyone with having to use people. These are options.
Right. I like that. I like that you separate it like that, so it doesn't make it so it's totally inclusive that you have to do everything.
Yep.
You'll save the most money using both of us, but yeah.
Right. Well, I really appreciate what you guys are doing big time. I think it's a great way to give back to the community, and I like to see that we're starting here in Grays Lake and then bringing it across, because it's also a lot of work, but I like the appreciation that you're showing and giving back. So.
Well, we do appreciate the schools and what they do, and we know that when our schools are great, our communities will be great.
Right, and the community is great. We'll make the housing market great as well. That's how many people want to move to Grays Lake just for the schools.
Undoubtedly.
That's right. A lot.
Undoubtedly. Yeah, and it's important to note, I mean, Lake County, Illinois has got one of the highest rated school systems in the country, right? So Lake County, Illinois' educators are second to none.
Right? Yeah. I'm always impressed all the way up. I don't know if you know this, but I started my teaching up in Winthrop Harbor, District 1. So I started in District 1 and have worked around into a few, but I've been in so many different schools, and we really do have some fantastic schools in Lake County.
And you've been like boots on the ground teacher, but also assistant principal, so you've kind of seen from an administrative
I was also an educational consultant. I worked at CLC. I taught at CLC, and I taught teachers. And then teachers would pull me into their district to come in and do consulting for science and math. So I've been in a lot of school districts.
Wow. And also just thinking about for realty thing, that I want to also say thank you, because I was at the Foundation 46, the Barn Fest, and I saw that you're lead sponsor there, and another way giving back to the foundation. So
absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Most people have no idea what to do with their aging loved one who needs help. Well, there is a solution. A company that provides care and assistance to make your loved one feel right at home. At Right at Home, their mission statement is to improve the quality of life for those they serve. They offer extensive services: personal and companion care, safety supervision and transportation, fall prevention, dressing and bathing assistance, medical reminders, meal prep, hospice support, ambulation support, stroke recovery, Parkinson's support. The list goes on and on and on. If you have an aging loved one that needs help, call Right at Home. Most people prefer to age in their home rather than moving to an assisted living or nursing home. Right at Home can make this happen. Contact Right at Home at rightathomenlc.com or give them a call, 847-984-0103. Now back to the show.
Time. All right. So, anything else you guys want to mention? I hope as a wrap up, anybody that's in the audience, whether you're an educator or you're getting paid by the school district, you are available to receive Educator's Advance.
Yeah, I'll clarify on that just a little bit, Dave, because it's not just school districts, right? Okay. So if you work for a private school and you're paid by a private school, that qualifies. If you're paid out of a pension for a retired person from your teacher's pension, they they qualify as well. If you are, someone working in the lunchroom, a janitor, a bus driver, any of these people, these are people that impact the daily lives of children.
Right.
These are the people we're giving back to.
That's awesome. Thank you for clarifying that, because that's something I did not know. So how about my father, who's a retired teacher?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As long as he gets paid from his teacher pension fund, then he 100% qualifies.
Okay.
For either savings.
And I've learned a lot today because I didn't know, and we've done all kinds of stuff together about Educator's Advantage and things that I didn't know. Yeah. So thank you for clarifying that.
Of course.
Anything else we want to tell Grays Lake before we're signing off? I don't want to rush you out, that's for sure.
I think Brent has to do the hot seat, though.
Yeah, Brent. you want to do
what's the hot seat? I was not prepped for this.
So first of all, then I'm going to not give a shout out to Brent because he obviously doesn't listen to anything we do. So now Brent will be on making sure that he's I'm up to speed.
I get the podcast,
Oh, you get the alerts. You just
alerts. I listen to.
Because you're giving back to the community so much, you don't have time to be listening to me.
Well,
I mean, come on.
Great call, Dave.
All right, exactly. All right, so we're going to learn a little bit about Brent Kenyon here on the hot seat. So,
thanks, Jodi.
Yeah, no problem.
No problem.
See, she's just here to help. All right, so Brent, what was the first car you ever owned?
Ooh, that was a Chrysler LeBaron Silver convertible turbo.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was my mom's car that was...
You started off... I remember when the LeBarons were really cool.
Yeah. Yep. I'm not going to tell you what year that was. Let's just say it was many decades ago.
Okay, so then we're not going to show age. So what was your first concert you ever attended?
Another great concert question. Concert was Poplar Creek, and it was Barry Manilow.
Really?
For those of you that remember Poplar Creek.
Yes.
Yeah,
no. Oh my gosh, it's been a lot of. I think I got arrested there. Allegedly. Brent, do you have a nickname?
No, I don't.
You've never had a nickname?
I mean, I have in college.
Right. What was your college nickname?
They call me Kenny.
Okay. All right. Well, it works.
Boring, but.
Have you ever eaten a roller dog from a gas station?
Oh, all the time.
Anywhere.
Hot dogs are one of my top 3 favorite foods. I'll try any of them.
We go to Costco for lunch.
just to have the hot dog.
To have the hot dog.
That's not a roller dog, by the way. Just so we're clear.
No.
Thornton's would be a roller dog.
A roller dog, a true roller dog man here, which I like. You have a lot of respect for me. And since we're on respect for me, what do you think the chances that Bigfoot exists? These are very important questions for education.
Well, I'm looking at your shirt you're wearing, which happens to have Bigfoot on it. I do not believe in Bigfoot.
All right. That's fine. We're not. Did you play a sport in high school?
I did.
What'd you play?
I played baseball, football. 1 year I played soccer. I did track 1 year. So, yeah, I played a lot of different sports.
And then where did you go to college at?
University of Kansas. Go Jayhawks.
Nice. Did you always want to be when did you know that you wanted to do mortgage stuff?
No. I didn't get into mortgages until I tried my hand at the options exchange. I did not like the way people treat each other down there, and I'm a very relationship-driven individual. And so after a year and a half of doing that, I got out of it. And my roommate at the time, was working at First Home Mortgage in Mount Prospect, and he's like, "You'd be awesome at this because you like talking to people, and this is what we do." And the rest was history, and here we are 25 plus years later.
Wow. It's always fun to see how you fall into different things, right?
Yeah,
like how jobs go like that. Okay, what is your favorite Grays Lake event to go to?
The Craft Beer Festival is always a good time.
Yeah.
Anything that Cinq-Mars group is throwing.
I thought you were going to say anything there's alcohol at.
And that.
The combo
is Emils on a Friday or Saturday night? Is that an event?
It's always an event.
Gotcha. I would say that the Beer Craft Festival is usually a great time, and we love going out.
And there's so many events in Grays Lake right now. I was just looking through the calendar of just like a June and July calendar, and there's so many things in this town that are just amazing. It's something for everybody. Definitely for me. Okay, speaking of alcohol, hey bartender, can I have a
Depends on the day. If I'm a beer guy, I'm a Bud Light guy.
A day or night.
Yep. If I'm on the Third Lake, it's probably Bud Light. If I'm going to a bar, it's definitely Tito soda water.
All right. It's like the diet drink, really, because you keep the carbs down.
I mean, if thank God this is a podcast, because if you saw me, you would not think that is a diet drink.
Tell me about the second time that you got arrested.
I can't even tell you about the first time.
See, one of these days, somebody's going to be like, well,
let's hope not.
What do you, on a serious note, so what do you wish that you learned sooner in life?
Networking. Meeting people, networking.
You didn't even pause on that.
Nope. I know 100%. I've grown so much with networking with great individuals. Everyone's got talent inside them, and it's usually channeled differently. But networking has really sharpened me as a professional, sharpened me as an individual, as a parent, and I can't say enough about networking, because I think that's where I think all kids coming out of high school or college should take an opportunity to just join a networking group, making a networking group, because the old adage is, right, it's not what you know, it's who you know, and that is so true.
Right. And especially these days, thinking about what you just said about younger kids coming up, and everybody's they Snapchat each other, and, young kids don't even know to ask somebody out on a date face to face. And what more important time in history, face-to-face human interaction, communication, getting to know people face-to-face.
It's the best, yeah. I mean, it really is the best, because it's kind of a lost art in our younger communities. But
yeah, and that would put people ahead of everywhere in business as growing into, especially entrepreneur sales or anything you're doing, getting to know people. All right, we're going to do two more here. What's the last thing you purchased on Amazon?
The last thing I purchased on Amazon.
That you're allowed to tell people
about. Which is funny, because I was actually trying to buy something last night, but I couldn't figure it out. So, I mean, my wife is awesome at Amazon. So I'll be like, hey, can you get this? And it ends up coming from Amazon. I honestly don't think I can answer that question.
Wow.
I can pull up my Amazon app here.
No, I'm proud of you. No, that's okay. It's really not that important.
Okay. I know what Amazon is.
Right. No, that's good. At least you have the app. Do you have a go-to karaoke song?
I'm not a karaoke guy.
Gun to your head, have to do one right now. After 17 vodka and sodas with lime.
Oh, if I had to do one?
He'd sing By Dirt.
It would definitely not be By Dirt. So I don't want to offend any country lovers out there.
Absolutely not.
You know what? That's a tough one, because I'm just not a karaoke person. I love listening to people sing karaoke.
Yeah, I know.
It's awesome.
It is fun. If they're your friends and you have it on video and then to make fun of them, that's good. Have you ever won an award for anything?
Yeah, I've definitely won many Presidential Club awards in the mortgage industry.
What's the one you're most proud
of? Probably the Presidential Award. I mean, it's
a big deal.
Top 1% of your company, and that means that you're doing things differently than the average person. And I like to, the one thing that Jodi and I, with this Educator's Advantage thing, really pride ourselves on is being a little bit different, right? Sure. And when I say being a little bit different, it doesn't mean that we're doing something to get something. We're doing something because we believe in something, and that's really important. So in order to get the Presidential Club Award, you have to do something different, and so we push ourselves daily.
Right. And would I be correct in saying that you guys are selling homes and giving mortgages to people that aren't educators? No, we don't do that for anybody else.
100%.
Absolutely.
Just a little shout out to your own businesses.
Yeah.
And I do work with a lot of other realtors, and like I think I mentioned this earlier, but we do give the $1,000 if you're an educator and you're working with a different realtor, because I have many realtors I work with that I love, I think are amazing. But this program has been developed, designed, and really come to the light because of Jodi's drive. And my backing of the educators in our community and giving back.
Right. Well, I thank you both for what you're doing because I think it's really cool. And if anybody doesn't take advantage of it and they're an educator, then they're a little bit crazy. But thank you guys for what you do. I appreciate you taking the time to come in and talk with me today, too.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Appreciate you guys, and we'll see you at the next event. Grays Lake, thank you guys so much for listening, no matter where you're at, whether you're on Spotify, whether you're on YouTube or Apple or wherever. Make sure to subscribe, because that way you will be alerted every time a new episode comes out, and they come out every Tuesday. But I do recommend that you listen to people that you don't know, because this show is about building communities. The more people that we get to know, like Brent said, with networking, you might meet somebody that you can do business with, or something to help make your life a little easier. And as we always end, make sure to go out there. You never know what your neighbors are going through. You never know who's having a bad day. So do one little random act of kindness. Kindness spreads like wildfire. So be nice to your friends and take care of people out there. So thank you guys again. And Grays Lake, we'll see you next Tuesday.